want a war, you're going to get one.
What was that? He had no time for one more play.
He had an opportunity to win that game at the end.
But the referee screwed us. The brother screwed us.
I'm upset, but
the brother screwed us.
At least they fought back and tried.
Only Cowboys game.
You literally
The brother screwed us. The brother screwed us. We had one man opportunity for one more play.
Dallas still stinks. You might know where Kick Dingbat here. Welcome to day 10 of training camp practice. But we've got big news today. Why? Because the Eagles made a great trade yesterday. The more I think about this trade, the more I like it. But the more questions I really have, especially after listening to Nick Sirianni. What is going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Little Skills, thank you for being here. KGK, what's up? Immortal Productions, Chris North, Top Dog. Thank you guys for being here. Robert Wallace, Ghostface Digital. Thank you for being here. Donnie, anybody I'm missing, I apologize. J-Dog, thank you for being here. Appreciate everybody. Jerry, Sean, Trav, thank you. D-Rock, welcome to Dingbat Nation, buddy. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you guys so much. Let me just jump into this. I did a poll. I said, what position do you think this trade is going to help? And like 69% of the people said outside corner. And most likely that's probably the case. But man, my mind was going wild yesterday. Like, what if they brought this dude in to play slot corner and then they moved DeJean to safety? Now you're set. You're set on defense. Or what if they want to move this kid to safety? Like, don't forget when, everybody keeps comparing this kid to Isaiah Rodgers. But don't forget when they brought Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in, he never played a snap of safety with New Orleans. He came in and he had to play right away on the fly. He got thrown into the fire. Could we get a situation like that where they're bringing this kid in, kind of want to see what they got with him, and then do accordingly? Just some thoughts, things to think about, because everybody's just going, oh, outside corner. I'm not so sure. Keep the G where he's at. Put the kid at safety. Now, Dewan says, the brother screwed us. I'm listening to my daughter, and she asked why the brother screwed him. Because they didn't stop the clock so Dallas could set up. Troy, what's going on, my man? Keeley needs reps of safeties. Man, because one of the things that Sirianni said today was that the kid is here for depth. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a minute. When you start hearing about this kid and hearing his time with the Raiders, and you start listening to Raider fans and how upset they are that he got traded to Philly, I don't think this kid is meant to be a depth player. I think he's meant to play. Now, we'll jump right into some things here. So, first thing, let me get this up. Sorry, I removed that. Then I had to put this. I hate StreamYard's new controls. So, Jakorian Bennett is going to be wearing number 49. You know that he's not going to stick to that number. That will change. Nobody wants number 49. There he is in camp. He will definitely not be practicing today, and he probably won't be playing on Thursday. A.J. Brown is still out. Here's Barkley. It hurts going through some warm-ups. I saw Bennett's highlights. Kid can cover receivers like glue, but is injured prone with bad shoulders and can't tackle. Slot corner. Bennett's already there. Yeah, he's already at practice. He's in Philly. He's with the Eagles. He's on the sideline watching. Yo, what's up? Keels goes, what's going on? Bennett has to start. we need. I don't know, man. I'm getting C.J. Gardner-Johnson vibes. I'm just saying, in terms of the trade. If you guys remember when they traded for Johnson, we all thought he was we had traded for a slot corner. 49. There's no way he's keeping 49. You know he's waiting for somebody to get cut or moved. He's definitely not here for depth on the roster. There's no way. Now, if you want to make a change to Ringo to safety, I say now's the time to try. Let's see if Ringo starts taking snaps at safety. That's why I'm curious if anything interesting is going to happen. Antonio, 500, great trade. Bennett was the most underrated cornerback in the draft. 4.31. I know he's fast. Did you watch? I watched the highlights of him going up against Jamar Chase. Kid can play, man. Yo, Phil, when you come back to Township, man, it's been way too long. I need to get out there, though. I do. I definitely do. Is Stefano's still there? That used to be my joint. I love getting hoagies there. The Ringo was built for safety. True. Yeah, Uche took 0. Eli Ricks going to be cut, number 23. Eli Ricks, I don't think Eli Ricks is going to get cut. I think Eli Ricks will make the team. Eli Ricks is having a pretty good camp. You see Burrow will play against, Burrow's playing against the Eagles. Doesn't mean anything. Ringo should play safety. He has a prototypical body for type 4. Well, that's what I want to see. Like, will this practice give us anything? Like, the fact that they got him now, will they say, all right, Ringo, take some snaps with safety? Or will they say, Dijin, take some snaps at safety or extra snaps? Like, will we see anything like that to give us a clue? Number 9 is available. Yeah. Ricks will stay. Jackson will be cut. You think Jackson's going to get cut? See, I don't think either. I don't think any of them are going to get cut. The Philly Gridiron says, Las Vegas Raiders is the team I cheer for in the AFC. Bennett is crazy good. Watching him versus Pickens, Chase. Worthy was great. He is sticky and he is aware. Air ball, turns his head on time and hard tackler. Yeah, I mean, I watched the stuff of him yesterday. He looks like that. Question I have though is, are we on the right path? Is he here for outside corner, or is he here for something more, or is this a way to basically kill 2 birds with 1 stone? Like, you insert him on the outside corner, you move Ringo to safety, and you take care of 2 problems at once. Is this that kind of trade? Personally, I like roast beef hoagies. I like Italian hoagies. There's my man Howie Roseman. He's out there. Get on the phone, Howie. Logan, what's going on, man? It's interesting. All right, let's see what's going on. Terrence Marshall is practicing today, but Bond and AJ are not. All right. We'll take him back. I'm glad he's back. Nick Sirianni says no decision has been made on whether the starters will play on Thursday. Yeah, okay. Like, I believe that. We're too good, Nick. We know. We know, Nick. All right. Well, that's pretty much all we can do right now. That's all I got. Bennett will be out Dory and Ringo. Interesting. Dijin will get some snaps of safety. Man, I tell you what. Fangio was like emphatic. He could play safety and be good. Like, that made me feel like, oh, he wants him as safety. So these are the best parts of my mornings. Now, thank you, Jesse. If people keep liking this, I may start doing this during the regular season too. It'll be just Eagles talk. I'm not gonna go over every one of their practices, but might come up every morning. I kind of like doing it before work. I feel like I wake up a little more. 500, we need to play our starters because if not, we'll be rusting when we play Dallas. The Eagles, Nick Sirianni has never played his starters in preseason. Well, yeah, he did. He played them the first year for like one series, and then that was it. The whole thing. Yeah, maybe we'll see. I guess it's possible. DeJean's getting snaps at safety isn't something new. Well, he's only been taking snaps in base defense, not in nickel. If he starts getting snaps at nickel, to me that tells me something. You know what I mean? Phil, you gotta get Leo. You know what? I will. I like Leo. Leo held it down the other day, man. Vic plays. Tell Leo he can come on. Vic plays the starters in preseason. I don't know. I don't remember if he did or not. I think Ringo and Adoree Jackson have to play. Like, I mean, I don't understand how you can have this cornerback open position battle and those guys aren't on the field. Now, they got 2 joint practices next week. So, with the Browns. So that you know that they're going to get most of their work there and they're not going to play in the game. You know? Let's see here. So what are we saying? Very laid-back day today for the Eagles practice after a tough 2 days. All right, so kind of laid-back practice today, which you expect because you got a game coming. Hurts misses a throw. Come on. To Calcaterra in 707. Seemed upset after himself for missing the throw. That's because Hurts is the man. Major problem at cornerback 2 position that will prevent us from repeating. Nah, top dog, don't worry. Don't worry. Hell yeah. I need to go back to Township. Nick played starters early in his career, and he was crucified by the fans. Well, I remember the one year he played. Hurts played one series, and then didn't he go to the hospital or something? He was sick with the flu. He had to get an IV. And that was it the whole preseason. I doubt they'll play the starters, but maybe we get a series. Philly Steph gave excited about this corner until we shit on the... Man, come on, man. I'm already excited, dude. I'm already doing jump. I was having dreams of the Eagles and this guy and what they're going to do with him yesterday. Pause. No diddy. James, welcome to Dingbat Nation. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate it. Whereas I haven't seen Texas Boy. I haven't seen 5 Rings. I haven't seen any of those guys since like December. Mark Bear show for 2. We'll see. 49 reminds me of Baby Arm Singleton. Yeah, there's no way he's sticking with 49. And there's no way that I believe this is a depth piece. I think it's a depth piece, I guess. But I think they expect more from this kid. That's why they brought him in so early. Now, the question is he going to play outside? Is he going to play in a slot? They're going to move. Like, I want to know what they're going to do with him. And what does it mean for the other positions? Like, how can that affect the other positions? That's my question. Elliot Sharp Parks wants to tweet today. Really nice coverage by Smile Mundan Jr. on Saquon in the back of the end zone. Looks like Hurts wanted to go there, but pulled back because of coverage. Hurts with a nice throw to Goddard in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. Put it high up where only Goddard could get it. And that's what our boy does. He has NFL film. The kid can play. I watched college football and it was great, and he played in the NFL versus some of the best receivers in the league. So why can't we get excited? He could play. He's feisty. We've got success though. Like in these type of trades. Like one of the things I was saying last week, if you guys remember, we were talking about Justin Simmons. I was like, no, I think Howie needs to go find a guy that we're not thinking of off of a roster, 1 or 2 years left on his contract. Something similar to C.J. Gardner-Johnson. That's what I was thinking they should do, and they did it. He did it. I think this kid could play too, and you know that he could play because the Raiders fans are all upset. Trading Thomas Booker also shows Faith Fangio has on Jordan Davis to be a stud this year. Love his move. Reminds of C.J. Gardner-Johnson trade. It does. 505 in the like. Yeah, hit that like. No doubt. We could bring in Simmons, but I'd rather bring back Jalen Mills. I'd bring back none of them. I do exactly, if I need to go out and get a safety next, I do exactly what I just did here. Go get some young guy that doesn't fit a new coach or new system, or for whatever reason, a team is willing to move on from him. That's the guy I want. 500 fired up. Hell yeah, I'm fired up. It's exactly the type of move Howie needed to make. This was a great move. We had the same success with CJ. Mike Nixon, man, thank you so much for the super chat, man. I appreciate you. He says, "Hey Philly, question: how do you get Eagles news on your Twitter where it says for you following and next? What is the Eagles news? Because I want that for Giants. You if you know who the beat writers are, you could just start following them, and you can set it up so basically I have a bunch of windows of the guys that I know are there at practice that are reporting. That's how I keep track. One day maybe I'll actually be there. Clark, thank you for the super chat. Good morning, champ. Thoughts on the new cornerback? I really like the move. I feel that it's very similar to a CJ Gardner-Johnson type move, and everybody is saying that this is for outside corner only. I have my my questions. I'm not so sure that's the case, or what the plan is, but I think there's more to it. I don't be surprised if this kid is here to play slot. Don't be surprised if this kid is here to move Ringo to safety. I mean, I think something's up. Maybe this kid will play safety. Who the hell knows? You know? So I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do. And he can play slot too. Yeah, he's played slot before. He's played slot before. That's the thing, you know. Let's see. Very laid back practice is what I keep hearing. Which, you know, I mean, they had a couple, like, 2-hour practices? Of course, it was going to be somewhat laid back. Very laid back day here at Eagles practice after tough 2 days in a row. Darius Cooper with a really nice catch in the back of the end zone from McKee. Cooper is having an awesome training. I don't know much about Darius Cooper. I don't know about him. How are we supposed to cover CD and Pickens with the corners we have and the pass rush isn't that good as last year? Well, I don't know why you think the pass rush isn't as good as last year. I think it's just as good as last year. Secondly, where does CD Lamb play most of his snaps? CD Lamb plays most of his snaps where? In the slot. Who's in the slot? Cooper DeJean. So boom, there's your matchup for Cooper DeJean versus CD Lamb. I'll take that. And then what's going to happen on the outside? Pickens, right? Well, who's going to cover Pickens? Quinion Mitchell. So, boom. So, you got Mitchell on Pickens. You got Cooper DeJean on CeeDee Lamb. And then you got Ringo or Dory Jackson going up against one of their worst wide receivers. It sounds like the Eagles have a pretty good matchup, to be honest with you. And what offensive line does Dallas have that's so good? Their offensive line's in shambles. No, this sounds like a bad matchup for Dallas. Sorry. Gunny Mac, thank you for super chat. He goes, who made the call for Bennett? Was it a Howie choice or Vic? If Vic wanted him, then he has a big plans for him. I think it was Vic's choice. I think probably both. I think Vic says, this is what we need. This is the style we need. These are the type of cornerbacks we need. And then Howie finds them. You know? Burnt toast, yeah, for your guys. Dallas going down. I mean, they got big problems. I mean, what did CeeDee Lamb held? CeeDee Lamb got held to what? Like, was it like 5 catches, 15 yards, something ridiculous like that versus Cooper DeJean last year? Not a good matchup for Dallas. Plus, their offensive line stinks. How is that offensive line going to run the ball? How are they going to stop the interior of the Eagles' defensive line? It's a bad matchup. Putting more pressure on Ringo by adding more competition, perhaps. I mean, Dallas, a team divided amongst itself cannot stand. Oh my God. Go watch the film of the Raiders versus Pittsburgh last year. Bennett was locking down. Go watch film. I know. He's a player. I mean, look, Raider fans were telling me last night, they're pissed off. Pissed off. The kid's a player. They said that last year he was probably their best corner. And he didn't fit, apparently he didn't fit Carroll's system or what Carroll likes. So he became expendable. That's the kind of advantage that Howie does, man. That's what Howie does. Offensive line is way better, and they have better coaching. Their offensive line is way better? How is that even possible? They're injured. They're banged up. Some of those guys won't even play. And their coaching's better. The coaching has never coached one game in the NFL as a head coach. How could you possibly even know that? That's all wishful thinking. But what I could tell you is my coach has won a Super Bowl. My quarterback has won a Super Bowl. We've got one of the greatest offensive lines since the 90s. We got two young stud corners rated, 49-60 by their peers. Yeah, I think we're okay. I think the matchup doesn't favor Dallas. Sorry. And time will tell. I mean, Dallas can't even take care of Micah. Ringo could play safety. He is naturally gifted player, size and speed, just tight hips. He is a very good tackler. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. So they said safety Makuba and cornerback Mac McWilliams are doing team drills today for the first time in a while after injury. So they're finally doing drills. God, Makuba's killing me, bro. I'm just so frustrated that he's hurt. You know, I am. And I mean, it happens. I'm not mad at him. But it's just like, damn, man, you know? Andrew Makuba doing some drills, second team defense. Man, don't be surprised. You guys think this kid could play safety? Like, do you think this could be a C.J. Gardner-Johnson situation? Remember, when they got C.J., we thought he was a slot corner. And then he didn't even practice. I think the first time he played safety was literally the first game that he played versus Detroit. Could they do that with this kid? Our defense could play multiple positions, going to throw offenses off. I agree. We're a better team than any Dallas team has trotted out. Oh, God, yeah. It's not, I mean, Dallas is in land of delusions right now. But time for honoring themselves will soon be at an end. What pisses me off is I've wanted Ringo at safety the last 2 years. Now he could be great. He lives to hit and gives him more space to operate. Yeah. I hope everything goes right for you. Good. Thanks. We make our own luck. Why are we talking about Dallas? We're literally on the level of the Browns. They really are. They are. I mean, they are the Browns. They are the Browns of the NFL. They don't have the allure that they used to have. You know, they haven't done anything 30 years, but basically lose. That why they have 5 playoff appearances, something like, or 5 playoff wins in like 30 years. They're like the Browns or the Arizona Cardinals or Jacksonville Jaguars, Carolina Panthers. You know, that's what Dallas really is. Bennett's going to be quarterback 2. Okay, so let's say Bennett's cornerback 2. What do you do with Ringo and Adoree Jackson? Do you move Ringo to safety? See, CJ, well, the Eagles brought him. The Eagles, well, he wanted to when they asked him to, but yeah, he was brought in to play safety after not playing ever safety. They didn't know that he could do it, but he did it. Could this kid do it? Or could this kid be in the slot? I don't know. My hope is with this trade is that we're going to take care of both problems, the outside cornerback position and the safety position. If we can do that, I'm okay. 500 think that they're a team better than what it is. They think, oh, they always do. George Pickens will be a bust. No, Pickens is a good player. That, you know. But is it me or just has training camp reporting been terrible? Yeah, it's been really it's been really slow. Like usually, like I couldn't keep up with the things coming out, play after play after play. And now there's like huge pauses. I think it's because they all want to talk about it afterwards. So they tweet out less. But like last year, it was like, man, every like couple seconds I just refresh and there was a bunch of stuff. I'm just have to move back and just go there and be there. Yo, I just joined now. What I missed? Not much. It's kind of light practice going on. Depth Ringo has years and still has the same issues. Yeah, we haven't even seen one game with Ringo yet. I mean, really, we haven't seen one game. Bennett played well against the teams that have on the schedule: Chargers, Broncos, and Chiefs. He's played well. Yeah. Hey, Dirty, what are you hearing? Take Sills press badge, right? He didn't even run a 4.2 at the time. He ran like a 4.39. I'll take a 4.39. So I'll get 500 a press pass. Yes. You need all the reporters want to save the good stuff for their own pods. That's probably what it is, really. What I thought about this, and I might do this next year. I might literally see if I can hire somebody that's there that will come on and give me updates. Like, seriously. Or I just have to go there myself. I'll buy a Billboard 95 Return of the Dingbat. That would be great. So is this new quarterback an upgrade over what we have? Well, he could play. The question is how are they planning on using him? And that we really don't know yet. Everybody's assuming it's outside corner. My mind's going a little more crazy than that, you know. My brother texted me last night. He's like, could they possibly bring him in to play slot and then move DeJean to safety full time? And I was like, damn, that's an interesting idea. If Vic Fangio likes DeJean at safety as much as he sounds like, and they could get a guy to cover that slot corner, and they feel like this kid could play in a slot, which he's played before, does that move Coop to slot? To safety? I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I don't know that we know yet. I know that everybody's assuming, oh, he's outside corner because of that competition. I don't really know. All right, look at this. Here's something from Ed Kratz, right? Let me pull up what he wrote. Because this is what I'm talking about, right? Eagles' latest trade acquisition could do more than add competition and depth. He could start. Nick Sirianni gave his take on Monday night trade before Tuesday's practice. Here's more we came in. I have to read that article. I'll have to read that later. But he could start. Start where? Outside corner? Okay, so let's say he's outside corner. Then, dude, put Ringo at safety. Start giving him snaps at safety. Then you take care of two positions, and we're good to go. You know, let's do it like that. Listen, if Andrew Makuba could play safety at his size, then this kid's what, 5'10", 205 pounds? Why can't this kid play safety? Not a good tackler? Okay. Not making excuses for anybody. He had the most time. He's young still. Ringo will now have to step up big game. Maybe. Ringo needs to move to safety. I mean, I think he could play it. Think about it, Philly. We are set linebacker. We are set defensive line. We have some young premier stars on defense. I'm thinking might see the start of the top 3 defense for years. I think you're in the golden era of Eagles football. I mean, the Eagles defense was what? Won last year and won a Super Bowl. They're the second youngest defense in the National Football League. The second youngest. That's crazy. Dak throwing a couple. Yeah. No, Dirty Sanchez is welcome here. Think Ringo won't start? I still think Ringo's going to start. I think they're going to do something with Ringo. Yo, 500, is Ringo better than Brown at safety? I don't know. You know, Sidney Brown's a giant question mark to me. Shakedown after not after preseason. I don't know what to expect from Sidney Brown. I'm very curious to watch him, you know. Think we need to add someone else to the defensive end. Our stars keep getting hurt. They could. They could. 500. This is a random question, but do you get haircuts or do you shave your own head? I get haircuts. Even though I'm overdue for one. I was supposed to go on Friday, but I had to cancel. Gabagool. Yes. Gabagool. Dirty Sanchez, thank you for the super chat, my man. He goes, thank you, Philly. Dallas is coming for them cheeks. All right. We ready. I actually like when Cowboy fans come on here and talk shit. I think it makes it funner, to be honest with you. When Reed got into the league, he couldn't cover, but he can tackle. Ringo as a safety is a good option. I think it's a very interesting idea. Ringo at safety. And it's still early enough in camp that if they wanted to make the switch over, see, I was hoping today at practice we would hear something like, hey, Ringo's taking a couple snaps at safety and like give us a hint, you know. What's the plan with this kid is what I want to know. Serious pressure on whatever corner is going to be starting game one because he's going to be thrown at the entire game. True. Justin, thank you for the super chicos. Becton was a giant good man. We will regret letting him go. I liked him. I wanted to keep him, but it just didn't work out, you know. Barkley 2K. You know, Big Chris, I got this weird feeling, man. I know. I keep saying it. Like, if he stays out, I got this weird feeling it's going to happen. It's never happened before. I think Saquon is in a weird window right now. Like even if you hear about people talking about him at camp, they're like, dude looks like he looks refreshed. He looks faster than last year. Sounds great. Here's the injury report for today, by the way. Not practicing. Zach Bowen back. AJ Brown hamstring. Montrell Johnson hamstring. Brian Young groin. Limited. Lewis Sign, Charlie Hewlett, Trevor Keegan, Terrence Marshall, knee, Mac McWilliams, Andrew Makuba, and Matt Pryor. All right, so that's the injury report for today. That came out really late. This must be a really, really light practice. Justin Wright, thank you for super chat. He goes, how he is obsessed with better O-line. Why not, Beck? I just think it was a money thing, you know. I think they didn't want to pay him that much money. They had some guys that they thought could play. I would have loved to see Becton come back, you know, and I do. I would have loved to see it. Here we go. We got a Ringo update. Keely Ringo with a near interception off of Hurts on a throw to Saquon. Definitely should have had it. His momentum and frustration from dropping it leads him off the field and accidentally drilled the sideline referee. What the hell? What the hell is going on? Ringo's getting frustrated. 40-6, a member for 22 months. Thank you, man. Shout out to you. Yo, 500, you should do a shakedown for the second half of the preseason game stream. Thank you for all the training camp streams. Go Birds. How you cooking? Like the stream, guys. Thank you, 40-6. Appreciate that, man. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. It's too hard to do that with game going on and then trying to time everything up, you know. Yo, Philly, do you know if AJ Brown hurt same leg as last year? I don't know which leg it is. They don't give a lot of information right now. You know, we got 733 people in the chat. If you guys haven't, make sure you hit that like. Make sure you subscribe. Definitely hit the like though. We don't even have 200 likes. We should have at least 300 likes. We got to get at least 300 likes before the stream is over, which isn't going to be for a while, probably. How does momentum and frustration mix? I guess the momentum of you running and then the frustration of dropping, maybe. Come on, Ringo, man. Pick that shit off. Ringo wants to be great. Yeah. Ringo playing safety should help him a lot. With him playing cover corner, he struggles defending the play. No, I don't disagree with you. I think Ringo at safety is so interesting. Justin, thank you for super chat. He goes, you're not mega supporter, right? Or a fascist. This is none of your business. But It's such a stupid question. I appreciate the super chat, but it's such a stupid question. It's like if you're a supporter, you're a fascist. No, that's not true. I don't even think you know what the word fascist means. You probably should go look it up. People don't know shit anymore, man. These people are nuts. Miguel says, we love you, Philly. Go Ever Birds, right? 189 likes. Yeah, TDS alert, big time. Woo, woo, woo. Jesus. Thanks for the super chat, though. Yeah. Fascist. God, these people don't even know what fascist means anymore. You mean fascist? You mean when you're going to force me to take something I don't want to take? That's not fascist. How about football? I know. I'm sorry, but what are you going to do? This is like coming if they don't. Yeah, exactly. Anyways, back to the Eagles. Let's see. Eagles will have 2 joint practices next week, not one, which was widely reported to be the case. So they're going to actually have 2. That's interesting. What do we got going on, Elliott Shore Parks? Give me an update. Ooh. Our boy Makuba made a play. Andrew Makuba with a pass breakup on a throw from McKee to Granson. That's interesting. Schwarber going to get, he's going off. I couldn't believe no one else agreed with the what laugh out loud. Come on, y'all, you know your heart both. I don't even want to talk about it, bro. He's getting 64 home runs probably. Sidney Brown is the starter right now, yeah. You know, and it's sad because Makuba was getting first team reps until he got hurt. It hurt him. We got 752 people in the chat. Hit that like. Make sure you guys subscribe. We need at least 300 likes. We're only at 246. That's not asking a lot. Makuba has probably fell so behind. He has. That's exactly what's happened. He's fallen behind, and then they're saying that he's probably not even going to play in the whatchamacallit, you know. Justin Davis super chat. Marmalade said Trump is a fascist. Who cares? I don't care what he said. You mean the guy who? I ain't getting into it. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, Jakorian is at camp. He's at camp. I'm not even going to get into it because I'm going to start getting frustrated. This is why I don't like talking politics. Whoops. All right, so here we go. Zach Berman, first and goal. Jalen Hurts to Saquon Barkley for a touchdown across the middle. Barkley, as you would expect, has been outstanding this week. One of his sources of motivation, the idea that there's natural regression after last year's historic season. So Saquon is using the fact that naturally, once you go for 2,000 yards, you don't go, you don't have as big of a year. Saquon's going for two twice. He's going to go twice. Purified, remember for 19 months, he goes, well, Campbell playing preseason. I think Campbell's going to play a little bit, right? Yeah, the Bengals are going to play their starters. Sidney Brown was always going to start. I do not believe that. I do not believe that at all. They had Makuba taking first team reps, like right away. I do not believe they were handing the position to Sidney Brown. I do not. And I still don't know what to think. Like, I still don't know what to think of him, you know? Let's please have space politics for yes. I know. This is like my get away from that crap stuff. No holes defense 2.0, baby. Let's repeat. Absolutely. All rookies need to play. I don't care who you are. I would like to see Campbell play. Definitely. Man, I really want to know what they're going to do with Jakorian. I'm not like nearly as I'm not nearly as sure as everybody else in terms of how they're going to use him. You think Elijah Cooks will take the wide receiver? No, I don't think he'll take the wide receiver 3 spot as of right now. I think he's going to make the team. though. I mean, it sounds like he's got to. Yeah, I don't care about that. I've already moved on. They always gave 2-3 guys first team reps in training camp. True, and then they gave Nakobe Dean none, and then he started anyways. So you just don't know. You know? Touchdown, Hurts with his best throw of camp. First and goal at the 10, competitive drills. Hurts and Saquon, real small window over the middle, and a touchdown. Good. That sounds good. Zach, thank you for the super chat, my man. Appreciate it. Bro, you got to ban this Justin guy. He's being way too political. I can't ban somebody for free speech. It's like it goes against my principle. Just you can block them on your own individually so you don't have to see them. That would be my suggestion. Yeah, 500. We love you for football, not politics. Your website. It says thank you. I don't talk it. 500. Your boy Mark is falling about. We thought we made a lot of videos about Micah. Now all his videos about Micah and how him and Jerry cooked things up. But what could Micah get out of it? Dude, I'm telling you, he's going crazy. He thinks that Micah and Jerry Jones got together and said, "Hey, let's get as much. Let's juice as much coverage as we can. Pretend you want to trade, and I'll pretend we're having a big contract dispute." He's crazy. I think he's lost his mind. I had high hopes when Brown had that inception 98-yard run back. Yeah, I mean that was a great play. Look, Brown might be able to play. I really like Brown. Like I like his attitude. I like the way he plays. I like the they fight. He got in a fight with the Cowboys last year. So if he could cover and be the safety, I'm perfectly okay with it. I just need to be convinced of it, Thomas Brown has a problem with authority. I don't care. I don't know. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Another Penn State starters having a strong week. Jahan Dotson just ran a crossing pattern for a touchdown with Cooper DeJean in coverage. Dotson and Hurts spent time together this summer, and Dotson was in Houston training with Parker Washington. The connection has been evident. That's good. That's a good signing that Hurts and Dotson are doing well together. I like that. But I felt like Hurts was starting to trust Dotson a little bit more in the playoffs. So what are we going to be looking for in preseason game Thursday? I'm going to be watching position battles mainly. I'll put out like a preview tomorrow for all that. Brown is too worried about hitting and not playing the ball. 2 thumbs up. You have a great Eagles show. Thank you, my man. Thank you. Michael will sign. They didn't play this like Mark thinks, but they do both live in a spotlight. Can't wait for half the salary cap to be eaten by 3 players. Exactly. I think the damage was done by what he put out, because he went into detail about the contract and about Jerry and what Jerry was trying to do. I think he really let a lot of players around the league know Dallas is not a place you want to go to. You don't want to go there, That's the truth. Justin Ryan, thank you for super chat. Should we be scared of Russell Wilson? I don't think so. I mean, I think he's older. I don't know what he's got, so I don't think so. We had no problem with him last year when he was with Pittsburgh. They're late. Thank you for super chat. He goes, Philly, how is the league still letting Howie do this? That was the great question, and I saw multiple people put that out yesterday. Don't trade with Howie. Like, I think there's a thing in the league where they don't really like to trade with him. I think the fact that the Eagles isn't there some front office guys that just left or somebody just left the Eagles for the Raiders this all season? So that could have been the connection. Yeah, I would start Ringo at one side and Jackson at the other for the whole preseason. See who does better. Now you can put this kid mix. Yeah, it's going to be interesting what they do with the kid. I'm telling you right now, Ringo football IQ is not good, and you need that in Vic's scheme at safety. Interesting. Well, you might be right. You do. I mean, Vic did talk about the play that Cooper sniffed out that they had problems doing and dealing with last year. So you might be right. Do you think Bennett will play? I don't see Bennett playing this week. I don't see how he could play this week. I mean, unless they throw him in the fire. You know. Oh, here you go. This is what I'm talking about, right? Here you go. Cooper DeJean at safety picks off Hurts into the end zone for Shipley. Hurts might have been trying to throw it away. Cooper DeJean gets his first interception of camp. Jalen Hurts threw a ball up while Trotter Jr. blitzed, and Dallas Goedert stumbled in the end zone, leading to an easy catch for DeJean. DeJean continues to play safety at base. They're going to move him to safety, dude. I'm telling you. I just got this feeling, dude. They're going to move this guy to safety. Philly, why not throw it? This is the perfect to see instincts. Yeah, throw him in. I agree. Throw him in. Take a look. 500. Do you think Avery Williams' kid will bring us some juice? I don't know. I mean, I haven't heard anything about him, King George. Like, you know, since he's been at Eagles camp, I've heard nothing about him. You know, that trade has Adoree Jackson on the chop. Maybe. But, you know, Fangio, it's funny because Fangio's like, yeah, the safeties are all right. Yeah, they're all right. Yeah, City Brown, you know, all right. Yeah. Then they talk about Cooper DeJean. Oh, he could play safety. And his whole face lights up. He's talking about Cooper DeJean at safety. Like, I'm like, oh, my God, he wants him at safety. If Dotson gives us 700 yards of offense, oh, my God, yeah. They're late. They were super Jake. How he must have dirt on those other GMs or something, right? Jakorian Bennett will be number 31. Who's 31 now? DeJean is an athlete. I don't see him being a promised safety. He can do it. No, I think he'd probably be all pro. I think he'll probably be a Pro Bowl safety, Pro Bowl slot. I think that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think you should ever put DeJean at one position and say, all right, that's your position. Like, I think you need DeJean to be like, all right, we need you at safety this week. Next week, we want you going up against this tight end. We want you in the slot this week. We want you outside. Like, I think he could do all that. Vic already admitted that he didn't want Jackson. He is gone. Maybe. There's no effing way to take Coop out of the slot. I bet if any, and all of you 1,000 right now, any takers, safety is easy compared to the slot. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Am I willing to put $1,000 up? No, I'm not that confident in it. But hey, man, I'm just telling you. For how he is during the GMs. Okay, maybe. Philly, roll Philly, don't they super J. Did you see Silly say how he was going to the Cowboys? What? No, what did he say? That he's going to the Cowboys. What do you mean? That's who I said would get their number taken ironically. Yeah, hit that like button. Did you see Bennett is wearing 49? There's no way he's going to stay with 49. No way he'll stay with 49. We got 802 people in the chat. Hit that like. Make sure you subscribe. Goal is 300 likes. So we got it. Oh, we got it. We killed that mother humper. All right. This move says more about Adoree Jackson than Vic is not a fan because Ringo is not going anywhere. He's on a rookie deal. He's younger. The move is about they're comfortable about Jackson, not Ringo. Perhaps. What if it has nothing to do What if it has nothing to do with the outside corner? I'm just saying, what if it has nothing to do with it? What if they want this kid to play safety? Maybe they look at him like C.J. Gardner-Johnson. The hell that I know, you know? C.J. Gardner-Johnson wasn't known as a great tackler, and they put him in safety. I think that safety spot, I think they're more concerned about coverage than anything else. Zach Berman says, touchdown and 2-point conversion for Elijah Cooks. Don't know how the roster shakes out, but he's been the 4th best wide receiver this camp this summer. Dude, Elijah Cooks every single day. Every day we hear about Elijah Cooks. He's going to win a roster spot. Yeah, he was 0 there. Yo, 500, I'm thinking Bennett will be around same skill level as Steve Nelson from a couple years back. Fair take? Don't know. I don't know. I mean, it sounds like he's got a little more upside. Could Elijah Cooks really make this roster? Would the Eagles really prioritize a roster spot over draftees like Wilson or Nia Smith? If you cut Wilson or Nia Smith, you probably can get them both back on the practice squad, right? I don't know. I mean, it's a great question, but Elijah Cooks has been way better than both those guys. Elijah trying to be equal. And all I keep thinking about Elijah Cooks, 6'4", 215 pounds. 6'4", 215 pounds. 49. There's no way he's sticking with 49. I like to see the starters on offense play a little. Last 2 preseason games knocked the rust off fans. It looks throwing. Yeah, I wouldn't play Barkley. Barkley wouldn't play. If you want to bring out Hurts in the offense and throw the ball, you know, I'm okay with that for a series. But I'm not playing. Barkley doesn't need to play. Fly Eagles, thank you for Super Chat. Eagles. If Coop goes to safety, Bennett is number 2 and Mac McWilliams in the slot. Yeah, possibly. Could they put this kid at safety? That's what I'm wondering. Could the kid play safety? 4'9" Philly at 6'4". Yeah, I mean, the guy's got talent. Eli Ricks is going to start. Then we're really going to need 2,000 yards from Barkley. I think we'll be okay. Got to feel bad for Ringo. Everyone's hating on him. I know. I'm not. I'm really not. I'm not giving up on Ringo. We haven't even played 1 preseason game. You know what I mean? We haven't even played 1 preseason game. Here you go. Practice is already over. This is an early practice. Practice ends with Elijah, play of the day, Cooks, catching 2 straight touchdown passes from McKee. The first on a quick slant and nice pivot on the outside. Jeez. How about that? Let's see what other updates I get. Ojomo had another sack. Here you go. Ojomo with a sack on 3rd down on Hurts. Got to him so quickly they called the play dead. Ojomo again. Eagles practice and, yeah, play today. Elijah Cooks with an awesome play. Caught a short pass and made such a sharp cut, and he sent the defender flying, was able to run it from 15 yards up for a touchdown. Jeez. Elijah Cooks. I don't think Ringo can play the slot. No. Okay, I've heard enough. Sign Elijah Cooks. Yeah, Ojomo's a beast. Ojomo every day. He's another one. Every day he's making a play. I heard Wilson is our best blocker. Why not move him to tight end? I haven't heard anything about his blocking skills, but I know he drops a lot of balls. Ringo playing in preseason. I would assume Ringo's going to play. Where am I at? Sorry. I would assume it, you know. Lure Vaughn, he said, this is the Eagles. You want to suck like the Cowboys? Go ahead and keep babying these ninjas. What do you mean? What do you mean? Is anyone else excited to see the depth compete? Maybe it's just me. I'm excited about. No, I'm very excited. I want to see the battle at tight end. I want to see the battle outside corner, and I want to watch safety. You know, Can Ringo play safety? He hasn't, but a lot of people think he's got the skills to do it. Ringo loses a job at 23. Give him time. He's a rookie. Ringo loses backup job at 24. Give him time. He's still young. He loses his job at 25. Howie trades a defensive for it's Ringo's job. But I'm not sure that that's because Ringo. I'm not sure this trade is because Ringo is sucking. I think that's the narrative that's out there, but I don't know that that's true. I don't. What's up, Game Time, Brian? You know? The kid's essentially the same size as CJ. Good question. Is Bradbury still? No, Bradbury's gone. Ringo never had the job as a rookie. No. One thing Johnny Wilson has going for him is his elite blocking skill, but that's why he's brought on screens, runs, and tush push. Well, then we'll see if they'll probably keep him if that's the case. Phil, you have risen to the top of your craft. Thank you for your honest report. Thank you, Airborne. I appreciate you. Ringo didn't, quote, lose a job at 23, 24. I don't know. Ringo don't suck, just outside corner. Listen, I just think everybody's assuming that the trade was made because Ringo and Adoree are battling. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's the case yet. Let's see how it plays out and how they use them first. I mean, they could have other plans. Yeah, they could move this kid to safety. Thank you. He has the athleticism to play safety at speed. Kid ran 4.31. Only thing is the kid is not a good tackler. I don't know if they care that much. They do care, but CJ Gardner-Johnson wasn't considered a good tackler either. You know what I mean? How good of a tackler is Makuba? I don't know. Sidney Brown's a pretty good tackler. But the one thing that you often hear about that safety spot is that the most important thing for that spot is that you can cover the field, the deep field. You got to be able to cover. And that's what they're looking for, I think, in that spot more than anything. Let's just wait a little bit and see where they put this kid and how they use him before we sit there and say, oh, it's because of Ringo and Dory Jackson. Toe for David Super J. We lost literally 4 corners this all season. Ouch. I mean, the history of this happening is CJ Gardner-Johnson. Slot corner comes to Philly. They convert him to a safety. He gets no time to prepare, no time to practice. He gets thrown into it versus Detroit week 1 and does a fairly good job. So let's see, Let's see. Brown is a solid safety? We'll see. I don't know that yet. I think Brown's a good, box type safety. Brown runs over aggressive, takes him out of place. True. To me, the issue with Brown is more coverage. I see Brown a better fit in Reed Blankenship's spot than the other spot. Could this kid be a safety? Could this kid be put in the slot and you move Cooper DeJean to safety? Could this kid be on the outside? Everything is possibility. Everybody's just assuming that it's because of Ringo and Adoree. But I don't know that that's the case. We have history and evidence to prove that they will get a guy and move him to safety that they think can play. We saw it with CJ. It was a very similar type trade. Now, can we shoot more Holmes podcast? Maybe. With a lot of teams using the quick pass, Coop needs to stay in the slot. Listen, I prefer to keep Cooper in the slot too. I do. I do. Most safeties can't cover. The important type thing for the safety position, that safety position that we let CJ go, is you got to be able to cover. Got to be able to cover. And that's what they want out of that spot. The only thing Phil really cares about with his safeties are that they could cover and they don't freelance. That's why Vic and Parker had problems with CJ. He did the way. Right. Exactly. And Makuba is a good cover safety. And could this kid come in and play safety? That would be such an interesting move. They've had success with CJ. Why not have success with this kid? I'm just saying. What my point is, I don't know how they're going to use him. I don't know why they brought him in specifically. I don't believe it's just a depth move, and maybe it's on the outside. Maybe they're not happy with the outside. That's very possible. Very possible. But we just don't know. What the hell is that noise? I like Makuba. Anyone else think Sidney Brown looks slow on the field to the eye? Last year, I thought he did. 2 years ago, I didn't think he looked slow. Last year he did, and I think that was coming off injury. Don't move All-Pro Coop from a spot. I'm perfectly fine keeping him in the slot for right now, But you got to have somebody that can play safety. CJ played slot before converting to safety. Not sure if this guy has plus. He's faster than both Adore and Ringo. Well, this kid played slot and outside corner. I don't think he's played safety, but he's played slot and outside. So he's got experience in the slot. He's played it. So what would it take to move him? Buda Baker got a new contract with the Cardinals. I don't think he's going anywhere. I also think Sidney Brown looks slow. I don't know, though. He's built like an Olympic athlete. I think Sidney Brown's weakness is coverage. I personally have a feeling Makuba is going to not live up to expectations, but there's no evidence just for the feeling on my part. Well, I get it. He's already hurt. He's already hurt. He's missed all that time. He's not playing in a preseason game. He's not getting first team snaps anymore. I get it. Move APC all over the field. Move Campbell all over the field. And they will. Bennett is great zone coverage, perfect for Vic. I think so. The other reason they were cool with letting Booker go is apparently for what John McMullen said, Gabe Hall is having Gabe Hall's having a really good camp. Really good camp. They've got the depth at defensive tackle. I mean, they do. A 3-high look allows you to call Coop anything, safety, but can become a slot corner, double corner, or linebacker in a flash. Absolutely. Agreed. Sidney looks low. I mean, y'all just effing say stuff. Well, he did look slow last year, but I think it was injury. After 8/7/2005, we will know who's playing where. Potentially. The thing is, look, Makuba, he's not. They're saying Makuba's most likely not playing on Thursday. Will this kid play? He was watching practice today. I don't know that he's playing. He's probably not going to play right this week. So we have no idea. Tomorrow they don't have a practice. They have a walkthrough. So we're not going to know what their plan is with this kid for a while. I got a feeling the secondary is going to get torched. Slay, Isaiah Rodgers, and CJ were big losses. They are big losses. I think the secondary is a concern. You still have really good players in the secondary, though. You still have Coop, you still have Q, and you have Reed. I think those are all good players. But you have to figure out that safety spot, and you have to figure out that outside corner spot. And that's just the truth. The Eagles are they're still way ahead of the NFC. I agree. Vic said he was a long shot to play this week. Yeah, exactly. Were you able to find out severity of McWilliams' quad injury? I think he could come back big mid-late. He's back already. He was back at practice today. So he was limited, but he started to take reps, they said. So he's going to be fine. 500, you think we should make Sidney Brown backup for Reed since that fits the side better? I would consider it. Yeah, I would consider it. But I'm willing to give Sidney Brown a chance. Like I'm open to it, Give him a chance to play that other side. Let's see. My personal gut feeling is he'd be a better fit over there behind Reed. But give him a try. What it means they're not so Ringo or Dort. Possibly, yeah. Unless they have plans like they did with CJ, We have Q, and I think we'll be fine. Agreed. When Bennett learns this playbook, cornerback 2 loading, could be. Remember, preseason is for the backups and fringe players. See who's tradable, coaching, and putting film on guys who will be on the rosters. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be a very interesting preseason. C.J. Gardner-Johnson was touched several times last season, just made up with it for interceptions. I thought C.J. was beaten early, but I thought he got better as the year went on. Y'all sleeping on Sidney Brown? I hope so. I hope so. We need Sidney Brown to rise up, man. I'm rooting for Sidney Brown. I'm rooting for Makuba. Like, I just want somebody to win that job and be good at it. D-backs 3 of 5 spots are top notch. Vic will figure out the second safety and outside. How we will trade if we need it. I agree, and I think we might have done it already. I know this sounds crazy, but if this kid starts taking reps of safety, it will not shock me one bit. If this kid, if he lines up on the outside, that will not shock me. Nothing that they do will shock me. 500, just know that sore hamstring and A.J. Brown isn't the abundance of precaution your man Leo talked about. That's going to be a nagging issue all year long. Be prepared. Well, I don't know why you would think it's going to be all year long. You don't let him come back until it's 100% better. I don't see him limping. Like, I've seen major hamstring injuries, people limp. He's not limping. I think that's not going to be a big issue. A cornerback that can compete for cornerback 2 for $1 million for the next 2 years, great roster move. The move itself doesn't mean Ringo Dory won't win a job. It's true. You were heated? Which player were you most excited to watch in preseason? Jahad Campbell. Jahad Campbell, without question. I like Sidney Brown, but I'm concerned his height and ability to contest defend balls and against big receivers. I get it. I mean, I have my concerns with him. I have my concerns about everybody. Like, I have my concerns about Brown and coverage. I have my concerns about Makumba, size and durability. I have my concerns about Ringo on the outside. Like, everybody has questions that got to be answered. Mark Holmes' hair will be completely gray by week 6. He's already losing it. Ladies and for morning to you too. I think AJ will be on Bussin' with the Boys. They're at Philly camp today. Oh, okay. I don't know who that is. I'm not sure who that is. Let's see. Oh, God. Here we go. Okay, I got to show you guys this. I always talk about this in my videos because I think this is hilarious. Here's Ellie Shore Park's statistics for Jalen Hurts today. 12 of 20, 5 touchdowns and 1 interception. Grade, B+. He has 5 touchdowns and 1 interception. B+. That's ridiculous. How can you possibly keep stats in practice like that? Come on. We had just as many questions at this time last year, and defense, if not more, we will be fine. The one thing I'll say is you got to remember, you got Vic Fangio is your defensive coordinator. Christian Parker, who is probably one of the hottest names to get a defensive coordinator job next year, is your secondaries coach. They'll get the guys playing the right way. Believe me. See a lot of cover two man being played this year. It'll be interesting. What interests me is they're letting Q learn to play both sides, right? So how soon before they start letting him just shadow the receiver? Like in the Dallas game, right? You figure 80% of the time, 85% of the time, CD's in the slot. So Coop's on him. And then Q is going to go where Pickens is. It's just interesting. Kay Robinson, what's going on? Hey, Philly just got here. What do you think of the trade? I love the trade. I thought it was exactly the type of trade they needed. Somebody that we weren't thinking of, on a roster, maybe didn't fit that team anymore, but had talent. I thought it was very good. Everybody's assuming it's for, to play outside corner versus Ringo and Adoree. I'm not so sure. I'm more like wait and see. Let's, could he come in and play safety? Could he play in a slot? I think it's a very interesting trade, Guys, watch Sidney Brown highlight tape. He also covered Justin Jefferson one-on-one. He has multiple picks. Y'all short-term memory and love CJ, and he was only 17th ranked safety in 2024. I don't think you can crap on CJ, man. See, I never understand the crapping on CJ because CJ came in and you went to a Super Bowl with him. Goes away, you collapse. Comes back, you win a Super Bowl. I don't think that I think there's a lot that CJ brought to the team. I don't know. Sidney Brown, we'll see. Sidney Brown, hopefully Sidney Brown will be a lot better than last year. He was coming off an injury last year. That's always a tough thing. One practice at a time. 500 Q is only on his second year. Agreed. But I'm telling you how in practice, we know in practice they are moving Q to multiple sides. This is something that they're doing. So he's learning to play both sides in training camp. So he's playing the other side. So there's a reason for that because they eventually want him to be able to shadow. Look, if he only plays one side and you're playing a team, you just put your best receiver on the other side. Then you got the matchup. He's got to learn to play both sides. Doobie, thank you for super chat. Appreciate it. Sorry I was late this stream. What did I miss? Not much. Pretty light practice today. Doobie gifted one Philly 500 membership. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Irvin James says, CJ was the bad guy. Every championship needs that villain. I agree. I think what happened is the Eagles got a couple guys that could be that. And then they thought he was expendable. I would never have gotten rid of him, but it is what it is. When you had Slay and Q, you didn't have to make them travel. Agree. It's very important. Like when you get players, you want to maximize their talent. If Q doesn't ever become a guy that can play both sides and shadow the best receiver, you're not using him to his ability. To me, if you take Cooper DeJean and you just let him always play the slot and don't teach him to play outside corner, teach him to play safety, and then don't use him like a Swiss Army knife, you're not using him to his ability. You got to use these guys to ability. And it's not 1 year thing. You do it multiple years. Last year they had take on one spot. This year they learn a little more. Next year they learn a little more. That's how they develop and grow. Retro Game and Cowboys. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Breaking news. Dallas sucks. Yes, they do. $500. Who in the fuck is Ellie Shore Parks? He's a beat writer. Stay One says, love what y'all are doing, 500. This is new sports media, not the stale analyst networks. Keep it. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. CJ was a veteran of Warriors, green in the NBA. I like CJ, man. Eagles fans have too much trust in Ringo and Sidney. They are both trash. I don't think anybody trusts Ringo from what I heard. I have heard. It seems like Ringo's getting killed. He didn't even play one preseason game yet. Like you said, Cloud was more about coaching, not about CJ not being there. Well, I think part of the problem was that you didn't have any guys with swagger on that defense that year. If you remember, what was Jalen Carter's rookie year? He was learning. He wasn't ready for that role. And you look at the 49ers, the way they come out and they're pushing Bradbury around and all the Eagle players are looking at them. Do you think that happens with C.J. Gardner-Johnson sitting right there? There's no chance in hell. That was what you missed with C.J. And that's what they brought back. And the thing is that last year you saw that in other guys. You saw that in Jalen Carter. You saw that in Zach Bond. You see that in Q and Coop. And you see it in Nolan Smith. You see it in Jalen Hunt. We've got several guys with that swagger. And I think that's why they saw him as expendable. But there was a toughness that he brought to that defense that is undeniable. My uncle just signed with the Eagles practice squad, and he torched the ring. Q traveling Coop safety could be dangerous. It could. And look, I would never keep Q with just what Cooper DeJean would never just be one position for me. He would never. I would never say, "Oh, he's my slot corner. He's my safety." No, it's like, all right, dude. This week we're putting you in a slot. This is the matchup. CeeDee Lamb, you're in the slot. Next week we want you at safety. Next week there's a tight end we want you on. Like he will be a Swiss Army knife that I use every week differently. That's how you get the most out of him. Big Fish, Little Boat, thank you for the super chat. He goes, this means Ringo is cornerback too. They needed someone to fill special team spot. No, I mean, you mean Bennett being special teams? No, I think Bennett's a player. You know, how do you think Ringo would do at safety? I think Ringo would do good. The question would be, can Ringo cover? Because that spot, I mean, that's specifically that safety spot. You've got to be able to cover. You have to be able to go deep. You have to be able to get sideline side. You have to be able to cover. So you have to be able to cover a lot of ground. Can Ringo do that? That's the question. At safety, it's a little easier than corner. He may be better for that Reed Blankenship spot too. Do we think it's too much of a coincidence that this guy has got film up on against Pickens? No, because I think Q's going to be on Pickens. Pickens will be on the outside. CeeDee Lamb's primarily going to be in the slot, right? So if they put CD on the outside, I'll take that matchup all day. But him in the slot, you're going to put Cooper on him, and then you're going to put Pickens. You're going to put Q on Pickens. Like I said, Q can now go both sides, so he's going to be on Pickens. I think you're okay. Eli Ricks is playing all right. He's playing all right. Niners are scheduled this year? I don't think so. Last time I looked, MVP Super Bowl champ. Yep, that's us. CD can't get free on the outside. That's a win for us. Right. And really two good outside receivers would be a worse matchup for us than having one good outside receiver and one good slot. That fits us perfectly. We can cover that. Need at least 4 Super Bowls to roll. Well, that's coming. Unfortunately, the players like that, they tend to be outspoken, controversial. Jeffrey didn't want the drama. Yeah, there was something going on. Why do you think the Raiders were willing to trade a young quarterback? Seems like he's a good player. Apparently, the system fit that Carroll wants to run did not fit with him. He did not fit the system, but he fits our system much better. And that happens sometimes, That's how you're still a good player. I mean, don't forget C.J. Gardner-Johnson came in the trade too in preseason. And that was after the last preseason game. And he was a good player, but he wasn't a good fit. So that's what happens. Those are the kind of moves that you got to make and how he made, Jose Davis Super Chat goes, Fangio will have the D ready to go. I'm not worried. I'm not worried either. Philly Pickett's not a burner. He's very talented, but he is a 50-50 guy. Yeah, I'm not worried about him. Honestly, about the Cowboys week 1, they have Dak throwing the ball, so I'm not concerned. I see a couple of strip sacks and interception for the Eagles defense. In the words of Philly, Dallas still stinks. Well, they've got big problems on their offensive line. I don't really know about their running game. And yeah, look, Pickens and CD are good. I'm not going to say they're not going to sit there and get yards. They are. But I don't think if you can't run against the Eagles and you can't stop the run, you're not going to win. Damn, that's good water. Niners rings are made of wood, right? The 49ers stink. Nobody's worried about them. They won't even win their division. They're not even better than the Rams. You probably wasn't even born for the championship. You're still talking about a regular season game from years ago. Haven't won Super Bowl in a longer drought. I know, right? Eagles not sold on Ringo? Yeah, I mean, it seems It seems like that's the case, right? It seems like the case. Let's see. Yeah. So, anyways, it is 8:40. Well, 8:46 for me. I gotta head out soon. The Eagles players are having a press conference right now. So if you want to hear them talk, I don't know if they'll talk about what's going on at cornerback. But I'll have a video later. I want to talk more about this possible scenarios with this kid that we just traded for and stuff. So I will be back later today. I'll have a video. Derek Sanchez, every super chat goes, Trans Francisco stinks. Thank you. Thank you so much for the super chat. But I'll be back later. If you guys want to go hear the Eagles, go to the Eagles website and stuff. They're on there having their press conferences. With that, I'm going to get out of here. And I'll have a video out later today. With that said, we gone. Peace.
2 minutes to go. You have plenty of time.
Come on.
Oh, shit! Dad! No!
It's over. It's over. This game is over. Cut it off. It's over.
Fuck.
Congratulations, Green Bay. Congratulations, Green Bay. Congratulations, Green Bay.
I said run the ball.
Congratulations, Green Bay. Dak Prescott, you need to be fired today. That was on you, Dak. That was on you, Dak. That was on you, Dak.
I said run the ball.
That was on Dak Prescott.
Trying to feed him
Trying to feed the CeeDee Lamb. Trying to feed the CeeDee Lamb. You tried to feed the CeeDee Lamb. You got to give it to CeeDee Lamb. God.
That's crazy.
It's over. It's over, Dak. Put Trey Lance in the game. Trey Lance can't do worse than you.
I'm an idiot because I buy into this shit. Because here's the thing. I am a grown-ass man. And I talk the talk. It is killing me.
I feel it coming. I feel like it's going to take Jerry Jones taking. Cut it off. It's over.
Fuck.